So we are all here at MTAC with a wonderful guest. Would you please introduce yourself to us and all the wonderful fans out in the expanses of the internet?
Hi Internet, I'm Marianne Miller. Marianne Miller. Brain fart. Okay. Let me start over. I'm Marianne Miller. I'm a voice actress. You can hear me in such titles as Sword Art Online, currently playing on Toonami and Netflix. I voice Rekon. He's got green hair. He's really annoying. And I'm in Squid Girl. I talk about poop. It's a hobby. And then I'm in Madoka Magica. I play a little boy that plays the boy. He used to play the violin, and then he got in a tragic car accident and broke his brain. Now he hates life. Typecasting. And what else have I done? A bunch of other stuff. Yeah, those are the bigger ones.
Also, what led you to acting?
Well, when I was a kid, I watched Patch Adams on DVD. It was like the first DVD that we had. And I was like, there's things that show you how they make the movie, that's cool. And then there was a part where Robin Williams is in a swimming pool of spaghetti with an old lady. And because that was like her dream, she wanted to do that as a kid. And I was like, I want to do that. So I decided I wanted to be an actor, and that was my life goal, to swim in this pool of spaghetti with an old woman. And so I started doing live action, like theater, film and stuff like that. I started doing auditions for those sorts of projects, but I was like 14 and 6 feet tall and looked really weird because, I mean, all kids look weird, but I looked really weird. And it just wasn't working out. I realized that, like, I was not going to stick because women in film usually are not over 5'8". So I kind of put that out to the wayside, and then I started watching anime, and I was like in love with it. I loved the anime stuff, and I started getting into like the voice actors. So I would, kind of email them and ask them for advice and everything, and they would respond and be like, who is this? And so I kind of started moving in that direction, and then I ended up as a 17, 18-year-old kid. I joined a fan group for like Full Metal Alchemist, where we would talk to the voice director, co-director, Mike McFarlane, and Vic Mignogna was in the chat, and a bunch of the cast members would pop in and chat with us when the episodes would play on Adult Swim in like 2005. And so I got to know Mike McFarlane, and I went out to Texas like a year later, and he was recording the Full Metal Alchemist movie at the time, and he called me in and he was like, do you want to do Walla? And I was like, sure, Mike McFarlane, yeah, give me money first. And then, so that was my first gig, and then I went back to LA, and somehow it kept happening, so.
Excellent.
Who would you say has had the biggest impact on your career?
Well, one of the first voice actors that I emailed was Liam O'Brien when I was younger, and he's a great talent. I love him, and he's also he's really nice, and I think like I was one of his first fangirls, I guess, because I loved this show called Descendants of Darkness, which is it's such a weird show, and it's so silly. But he voiced like it's also a little gay, and he voiced basically, I guess there's the more masculine one and the feminine one, and he was the more feminine one. And so I was like, I like that guy, he's cool. And so I would we would email back and forth about just anime, and I keep in touch and everything. And I got to audition for him for the first time a couple of years ago. That was really
Wow.
nice.
So did you ever, have you yet landed the dream of swimming in spaghetti with an old man?
No, I haven't, and I'm so sad.
That is sad.
But, that's the breaks.
But what other things do you do besides the whole, voice acting gig? How do you, kick back? How do you relax? How do you have fun?
It's funny, this is gonna sound kind of pretentious, but like I always have this terrible habit of turning my hobbies into jobs. Because, I really loved anime, and So I started voice acting in anime, and then I liked conventions, and now I work at conventions and go. My husband and I have a booth, and we sell T-shirts and stuff like that. And I love video games, playing video games, and I wrote for a game website for a short period of time. I love singing, and I started singing with a big ensemble with we sing with the California Philharmonic and the Golden State Pops Orchestra in Los Angeles, and it was so cool. I was so nerding out so much because the first concert that I did with them was kind of there's a record label called Burries Sarabande, I think is how they pronounce their name, and they're like the biggest music publishing house for film music in like the world. And so they were having, I think it was their 25th anniversary gala, and so they picked a lot of iconic music from films, and we were going to be singing this music, and we had the composers conducting us. And like when I was younger, like I was such a nerd about music composers for movies and stuff, so it was really cool. Like when there was like we sang one song from Shrek. It was like a medley of songs from Shrek,
Right.
And that movie I knew by heart, and I would act out in my living room as a kid. I loved that movie, and it was just so surreal, like being able to sing it. Now, John Powell or Harry Gregson Williams weren't conducting, unfortunately, and I didn't get to meet him, so I was a little sad about that. But I got to meet the composer for Bubba Hotep, so I guess I made up for it. He did the music for the Avengers too.
We're talking a little bit about your tattoos.
Oh, sure. I have one on my leg. I'm not going to show that one because I would be indecent. At least the position I would be would be. But it's the one on my leg is Phi's Phoenix from Tsubasa, and I got that one when it was actually almost exactly 5 years ago. I was raped when I was abroad, and so I always wanted this tattoo. Like, I think I really wanted it from when I was like 16 or something, and running out of breath. So when I went and I got raped and stuff, and I came back, and obviously, you have the depression and everything, and but after I got out through it, I was like, you know what, I don't want to be, I was afraid of getting the tattoo too. So I was like, you know what, I'm done being afraid, and I want to show that I'm different now. So I got the tattoo to kind of and Phi was a character that I related to really, really closely. And so because he kind of helped me, my therapist recommended that, kind of, I guess, projecting yourself through the character, in writing and stuff really helped me out. So that was the character that I would kind of latch onto and relate with, I guess. And so that was why I got that tattoo, to kind of show that things were better now and I'm different and there's nothing to be afraid of anymore, And then I have the Assassin's Creed symbol behind my left ear, and I like Assassin's Creed, and then I got this, it's a robot arm, I like robots. It was kind of like, I guess I needed a good reason for the first one, and then the rest of them were just like, it looks cool.
Do you think we'll ever get an Assassin's Creed game starring a robot?
Oh my god, I hope so. That'd be like a wet dream.
Would you like to ask the question at this point?
This is kind of the end of the question, the standard awesome cast a name question, but what project have you worked on that you think would most benefit from the inclusion of a giant robot?
Let me think. You know what? I think everyone talks about. I've seen Madoka Magica, and everyone talks about how it kind of turns the magical girl thing on its head. Why can't it be like magical girl robots? I just want, like the Iron Giant standing next to Madoka, and she's like, "Let's kill it," and Vin Diesel's like, "Yes."
I think I know what they need for the next movie.
Yes.
Did they ever do number 4?
Yeah.
What was the moment you felt furthest from reaching your goal?
Well, to be honest, recently it's, you have your dry periods, and this is a dry period for me right now. And so it's really, really hard. My husband has just started getting into professional acting, and I had to beg him to try, because he makes the Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge series, and he's so talented, and it's like, just do it. Like, you do all this crap already, like, there's no reason why you can't get paid for it, you know what I mean? So, like, last March, he ended up, I think, booking his first thing. And so I was like, I told you, you're British. Everyone loves you. We need more British people in LA. There aren't that many. And so like since then, he's just like, most recently especially, he's been booking, like he just booked 2 TV shows, and he's going to be on British TV and American TV. It's going to be really cool. But it really hurts when, I don't want to say it really hurts, but like, the ego thing, you can't shove it aside when we both audition for the same project and then he gets called and then I don't. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm perfectly supportive and really happy for him, because hey, at the end of the day we both win when one of us books work, because it goes in the same bank account. So, ultimately I don't care enough to whatever, but it's really hard to like sometimes just swallow the pill and kind of like keep smiling and be like, yes, I'm so busy, guys, like look at how successful I am.
Well, then on the flip side, what's been like a really interesting challenge you got to persevere and conquer and feel really proud about?
I mean, I guess ultimately my proudest thing is like, I'm a really spiteful person. I don't know if that's a good thing to admit, but I'm a really spiteful person. And when I was in middle school especially, kids would always make fun of me. They would be like, you're not gonna be an actor. You suck, you're the worst. And I'd be like, I'm gonna show you. So that just like drove me even harder to like do what I wanted to do. So like, and then there was I think the moment that like everything kind of like switched on was I was working on this Dragon Age web series, and I love Dragon Age. And this was an official web series commissioned by BioWare, and it was sort of a prequel to one of the characters that died in Awakenings, like a character that you find dead.
Right.
And so it was me, and it was Zach Hanks and Yuri Lowenthal and some other guy. I don't remember his name. But yeah, so it was like me, and Erin Fitzgerald was the casting director. She's in Ed, and Eddie, and a bunch of other stuff. But she was the casting director for this one, and I was the only woman on the project, which goes to show how many women are in fantasy. So we were in the studio, and they have like, food and stuff for talent. We were getting ready to go into this session. And I had met Yuri in 2006 before I really started working as a voice actor at a convention. And he was talking about it. He was like, man, Marianne, I remember when like you were a fan and we were talking and you were so young and now you're getting paid to do it. And I was like, yeah, oh yeah. So I really gave the figure to those damn middle school kids.
So speaking of Dragon Age, since you're a Dragon Age fan, one was way more like the original BioWare style Baldur's Gates, whereas 2 sort of moved in more action role, but now we're getting 3 Inquisition. What kind of direction are you hoping that they're going to take?
I don't know. Like, it's funny. I kind of joke that Dragon Age is my favorite game that I hate to play, because the gameplay was so bad in the first one, but it had so much heart, and the characters were so wonderful, and like. And I joke because I joke about how Alistair, like if it weren't for Alistair, I wouldn't have my husband, because I was like making a checklist of things that I wanted in a partner. And when I met Alistair and fell in love with Alistair, I was like, and I want him to be British. And then, but yeah, it was, the gameplay was so terrible. I just loved talking to the characters. And then Dragon Age 2 was just like, I feel like deja vu, you know. Dragon Age 3, it looks like it's going like in the Skyrim direction with the huge open world, even with like the map compass and everything. And I don't know, I'm interested to see where it goes. I'm not disappointed because Dragon Age's combat definitely needed. It got updated in the second game and it was definitely better. But I have a feeling that, and I'm not sure if this one's going to be hack and slash, but if it is, I think it would be a welcome change. And I'm so glad we don't have that stupid map screen anymore. It just feels like, and the weird thing though, is that you didn't, even with all that, even with the whole like map screen, it cut out so much time from the gameplay, but you still could put in like 40, 50, 60 hours into that game, so there was no padding, you know what I mean? It was all content, so yeah.
How would you feel about a Squid Girl MMO?
The Squid Girl MMO. I don't know. I think I wouldn't be able to look at it or consume it at all because of the squid puns.
Okay, speaking of that, in the Japanese they don't have as many squid puns.
Oh, really?
As the American, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Tony Oliver was just like sitting at home in his underwear being like, somebody pink octopus butts. I don't know, like.
Yeah, it sounds like Tony Oliver. Yeah.
Any squid. He's like, maybe he's like a brony. I don't know. Like a squid brony instead of every
A
pony.
Swami, maybe?
Oh, a Swami. That sounds dirty.
It is.
Only like shameful, really.
Shit, dude. Every kid has their experience as a child, first car that they get, whether it's handed down or whether they go out and buy it or they get their job or whatever it is. Do you have a limited story? Do you have a handed down story? Do you have a inspirational, I went out and got my job story? What was your first car and how did you get it?
Oh man, my first car was a hand-me-down, and it was a Mazda pickup truck from 1990, and I remember when we bought that car, I was in a car seat. And so then I ended up driving it, and there was like, I don't remember what happened, but it got to the point to where the door wouldn't open for whatever reason, and it was a stick shift too. But I always felt really cool driving a stick shift because nobody knows how to drive a damn stick shift because you're all stupid. But there was like, there was one point where the damn door wouldn't open. I think my friend's mom backed into the door by accident, so I had to climb in and out of the window. Yeah, but the worst part was that my parents would make fun of me because they loved the Blue Collar Comedy tour, and they would always be like, there was one, if you might be a redneck if you climb in and out of your car like Dale Earnhardt or something like that, and I was like, damn it. I'm from the boondocks too, so there are boondocks in California, like 2 hours north. There's just nothing but desert, and that's where I'm from. But I just bought my first new car. It's cool. I wasn't driving the crappy truck for that long. But I was borrowing my mom's Civic for a while, and now I own my own Hyundai Accent. I love it. It's so cute. It's not a Mini, but it'll do.
So the goal is a Mini?
Yes, but I'm really like, the tires cost $800. So, because they use really high performance tires, so I don't know if I could ever justify getting one, but maybe a Fiat.
Maybe when you land that huge series, you're just like $800 tire.
more people need to hire me, and then I'll be like, $800, pocket change. Bitches.
Which kind of Mini are you wanting? Like the convertible or the Clubman Countryman, whatever it is? Or one of like the classic '60s ones?
Oh, those are so cute too. I actually saw one the other day at Trader Joe's.
Oh, cool.
Somehow I was not surprised, but I really, 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 really want just the normal Mini, and I want a bright yellow one with a white roof and black mirrors. And it's the cutest thing ever. But I would never buy a two-door car because I hate two-door cars because I love going places with my friends. And like, they like, and I'm 6 feet tall, so I could never, and I have my friend her name, she goes by Jaxabota on the internet. She's like an internet animator. She's 6'3", and so, you know, so like I could never be like, hey, Jaxie, let's go ride in my car and go to the rent fair. And she's like, oh, okay, you know. So I would want a Countryman because they've got the 4 doors, but they're not as cute, so it's kind of sad. But I'll live.
One day cute and 4 doors wide.
Yeah, I'm like, maybe my 5th car can be a Mini Cooper.
So what kind of shows, like anime and otherwise, have you been trying to keep up with at all? Or just getting into?
I really like, I mean, I haven't seen much anime lately. Most of it, I think the last one I watched was Attack on Titan, and I just hated it. I don't know why everyone's so into it because it was like, I don't know why everyone's so into it because I feel like they're just like, hey look, this is Bob, isn't Bob nice? He's got kids. And then they're like, doesn't that make you sad? He had children. And then they spend like 5 minutes telling me about Bob and he's dead. And I'm like, I don't care. I'm not a good person. I don't care. Like, but yeah, it's what they try and like humanize the entire human race. And that sounds weird, but they're trying to like, as a whole, like, make me feel bad for a whole group of people. And it's like, I've seen like Godzilla. I don't care about any of those people that are dying. I'm just, they can die. But,
How do you feel about the new Godzilla?
The new Godzilla? I don't know. I'm excited for Bryan Cranston. But my husband is like going apeshit for it. He's so excited. But yeah, I don't know about Godzilla. No, I'm not. I'm sure I'll enjoy it because I like mindless action movies about as much as anyone else. I like the first Transformer movie, and then the third one had like the best robot fighting porn ever in the last 20 minutes. It was so great. Like Optimus Prime like doing a flip over Megatron and ripping his face off with the flaming axe that just came out of nowhere. I was just like, oh.
Grimlock's in the next one.
Oh yeah?
They're gonna have Grimlock.
I'm just kind of excited about Optimus riding a dinosaur. Like, it's just, I wasn't excited because like, I mean, I was excited because there's just, it's so weird. I didn't watch Transformers as a kid, and I probably should. I've never seen really an episode of the show. I watched like the first 10 minutes of the 1980s movie where like the thing destroys a planet and everyone explodes and dies or something. But like, I don't know what it is. I freaking love the designs for the robots in the new movies because they're just so like, at least 2 of them are very colorful, you know what I mean? So I just love Optimus Prime. He's so sexy. If I were a giant robot, I'd be all over that. But yeah, I really going actually back on topic. But I really want to see. My husband and I are really trying to watch Veronica Mars and Hannibal. But we've never gotten around to it. We just like, whenever push comes to shove, we always sit down and we're like, wanna watch Bob's Burgers?
But Bob's Burger's pretty great.
Yeah.
It took me a while to warm up to it because like more than half of the main cast is women and there's 1 female voice actress, and that drives me crazy because as a person with a vagina, I would like to work. But you know, I mean, the show is good. I can't fault the show for that. I can't, but I won't.
So, hard-hitting questions. Favorite candy and or sweet?
Oh my god, you're a monster.
I am.
Favorite candy and or sweet? Yeah, how do I choose? I don't know. I'm a fat person. I can't discriminate. So, but I really love Reese's. Reese's is good. And, pumpkin pie. I love pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin pie's pretty great.
It's awesome. And you know what? It's not just Thanksgiving, okay? It's like, it's always. And I'm really offended that it's going to be Thanksgiving.
Well, you should always be able to give thanks, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's...
Thank you for the pumpkin pie, bitch. Like,
But you gotta have your pumpkin pie with the Cool Whip.
you know what? I just like eating pumpkin pie. Although the Cool Whip does kind of add a little something, but I like it. It's especially my favorite thing to do. This makes me sound so sad, but my favorite thing to do is I'll go to the grocery store and I'll check the clearance rack for pumpkin pie. And I've been able to find one, like I think I got one like last week, and I was like, oh, my life is perfect. $2 for a pumpkin pie. I'm really sad.
Half that pumpkin pie still in the freezer, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in my fridge. I should probably throw it in.
What has been one of your favorite moments at a convention?
Last night we got really drunk and because it was the 18 plus panel, so we had some drinks. Then we went and we did the 18 plus panel, and we came back to the green room, and then we were sitting in the green room and drinking a little bit more, and we were like, they were talking about the risque cosplay show, and I was like, why aren't we there? And so we all ended up going down, and Eric Stewart was hosting and Dan Green was in the audience, and it was so funny like watching him, and he was like sitting forward like scrutinizing the like the robe that was stripping and everything, and it was so funny. And then afterwards, like I don't know what I was saying to him, but I was just walking down the hall, or he was walking down the hall afterwards, and I followed him, and then I started talking to him, and for whatever reason, I guess like last night I was just super huggy, and so I loved everybody, so I ran up and I put my arm around him, and I was just babbling at him about I don't even know what, but I was like I'm like arm in arm with fucking Yu-Gi-Oh, you know. I didn't mean to swear. But yeah, it was just I don't know.
It's cool. My podcast is explicit tag on iTunes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
Okay.
I'm pretty
First
sure
of all,
right here's guys
I've been so good, and I was like, God damn it. Okay.
Hey, you have to all swears.
Well, then what's your favorite non-standard curse word?
Non-standard? Aw, but I love the standards. They're just so...
The classics.
Yeah, I always like to think of myself as, well, I don't like to think of myself as Deb from Dexter, but I pretty much like, you know, fucking is like a comma for me. So, but non-standard curse word. I don't know. I don't, it's not a curse word, but butt or poop, you know? If you say you are a poop, that hurts someone's feelings. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm kind of hurt right now.
Yeah.
Like,
You know, like just think about that. You're not a piece of shit because you're not even like a piece of shit is so small. You are a poop.
I feel cuter though.
Poop. You feel
I
what?
feel cuter though. I think poop's a cuter word than shit.
It is
so.
cuter. It is cuter. But you know, there's just something. You're an entire piece of poop. Like.
From a dog, a cat, a goat.
You know what? I think everyone starts out as a piece of as goat poop because they're just round little balls, or maybe like rabbit poop. Same story. I think.
Deer poop.
I'm a poop expert. But I think eventually you graduate into like cow pie territory, which you're just a
Just have
flat.
splotches of poop somewhere in your head.
Yes, it's like instead of going to Home Depot to compare paint swatches, it's like cow poop, horse poop. I'll take this one.
I'm wearing gloves in that situation.
At the 18 plus panel, like I ran out and I went to the bathroom, and then I came back really quick, and everyone was like, "Did you wash your hands?" I washed my hands with pee, and then like, and then later on, I was like. I was making a joke about something and I licked my hand and I was like, oh, the pee backfired. Like,
No.
So you said your husband was British, right?
yes.
I'm jealous of him already.
You're jealous of him or me?
Of him, because he's British.
Oh, yes.
Then get
Well,
away. Did you say the word cunt? You can't do that as an American. It's not okay. But
I
British
know.
people-
No, I think actually it's Scottish people. Don't be racist.
It's Scottish?
Yes, no, it's Scottish people that'll call you. They're like, oh yeah, this cunt, that cunt, this cunt, that cunt. And you're like, no. It's twat, I think. But I think twat is like much more common over there.
It sounds more refined, too.
It does. Well, I mean, if you say twat, well, I guess twat sounds somewhat refined. But I just love it when they're like, you're a twat. And like it's just so nasally, twat. I just love it. That's my favorite. And that's my favorite non-standard curse word, twat.
Okay,
There we go.
cool.
Changing the record. let the record show.
What's your maybe slightly serious? What's your ultimate goal as far as acting? Like, what would be like end game for you? What would be the ultimate?
hentai. No, I'm just kidding. If you really like love the idea of being in hentai though, because like it would just be so fun. I especially like the visual novels. Those are so. I have a couple of them still. It's so embarrassing, but I bought a couple of like the gay ones when I was younger, and it was just so fun. Like the weird noises and everything. It's just great.
Oh, then what would your hentai actress pseudonym be? Because you have to have one.
And you want to play a female or male?
Do I want to play a female or male? Well, if I'm playing a male, I might get arrested. I actually like when I was in this show called Nanoha, Magical Girl Lyrical Nanoha, and it was my first big part, and I was this little boy who turned into a ferret. I don't fucking know why, but like
It's magic. You don't have to explain shit.
yeah. So, but I went on this like. I was really excited. I was like 20, and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna find some damn hentai with me in it. And so I found this manga or this doujin, and I was looking through it, and you know, it was definitely pornography. And my character was in it, and I was like, haha, this is funny. And then I was like, what if the cops come and scour my hard drive? How would I explain that? Like, no, it's not child porn, officer. It's just me. Like,
Voice acting research. I'm a voice actor. It's research for my part.
that's what I tell the IRS too. But yeah, I don't. What would my porn name be? My friend actually came up with the name Juicy Flanagan, and he used it in Squid Girl. So I think it's a name that a bunch of us steal. So it's like, it's really funny because they either think it's like him or me, but there was like one time where I voiced something as Juicy Flanagan and they credited him as it, and I'm like, you guys didn't even fucking listen.
So somewhere someone thinks Juicy Flanagan has amazing range.
Yeah, exactly. We were having a party at a friend's place, and we were talking about, you know, Juicy Flanagan when we decided it would be a community name, because there are some anime fans that are so damn, like, there's a reason why we use fake names, and for some people it's just for fun, like Juicy Flanagan, and for some people it's like a legit thing because they could get in trouble with the union and they could get sued or whatever, and so they use this fake name to keep the union from finding out, because not everybody can make a living off of union work. And so it's just so annoying when you go on a page and then you just find there's those people that just scour every damn anime and find out every damn pseudonym you have, and you're like, God, like on the run or something, you know? So we made up this, we were like, what if we tripped them up and we all just used this name? And so we're like, yeah, let's make a Juicy Flanagan demo reel. And we just, we sat in the room in a circle and we just passed a microphone around and we made up a bunch of lines. And Martin was gonna edit it and upload it, but he never did because he is a poop. So.
So speaking of things of this ilk, if you had a theme song, what would that song be?
Oh man. Probably. I was gonna say Separate Ways, but that's so depressing. Maybe Don't Stop Believing. I do love Don't Stop Believing. Journey I think is just the best for any sort of public music thing. You're like, what's that? You need motivating? Journey. What's that? Your heart got broken? Journey. What's that? Your dog died? Fuck it, Journey. Like, I'm sure they wrote a song about a dog somewhere.
That's a wheel in the sky.
Yeah.
So then with that, have you ever thought about going back to like your high school reunion and start playing Journey and be like, guess what, bitches? Voice acting.
It's so, I was actually like, I don't know, they've never contacted me for a high school reunion, so maybe they didn't like me. But I would love to. I'd love to go back to my high school. It was weird because my drama teacher actually got in touch with me recently because my mom still lives in the area where I went in high school, and she ran into the drama teacher at the store or something, and my mom told the drama teacher, oh yeah, she's an actress now, and blah, 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 blah. And so my teacher wanted me to come and like motivate the kids, and I was like, I'm like the worst fucking person to motivate. I'm like, it's like, hey, you will never make money, you will never work enough, and blah, 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 blah. Any questions? And all the kids will just cry. And
Sorry to be an actor now. Just motivating myself.
yeah. Plus, I want to get rid of my competition. You know what? I should have gone and talked to you.
That's okay. I'm sure plenty of them probably come to you at Anacons and ask you how to be a voice actor.
Yeah.
How do I meet you?
They're just crying. And then I start crying and I'm like, oh, you can.
Do you want to sign off?
You wanna? Are we good? Anyone? More questions left?
Got
Do
enough.
we want to end on the charity one?
Yeah. So, well, in that case, please edit that part out for the audio.
Don't edit.
So, are you involved in any charities?
Well, I did recently start volunteering for a rescue organization called Kitten Rescue, and they're in Los Angeles, and they are a no-kill shelter, and they keep cats in Petcos to help adopt them out and everything, and they're very thorough. They do home checks and all that other stuff, but they're a great organization, and we actually just donated a bunch of money to them because my cat was diagnosed with some weird birth defect, and his internal organs were not where they were supposed to be, so we had to raise, we were told this surgery would cost $6,000, and so we were like, crap, we're gonna have to put our cat down. But then the internet came through and paid the vet bills through a GoFundMe thing, and then we actually ended up having a huge excess because his surgery ran on the lower end of the estimate, so we just donated $1,000 to them. There's also Guardians of All Creatures, which helped a little bit with the surgery as well, financially, and they do that for animals that could survive and live healthy lives if they did get veterinary treatment, and they would get put down otherwise. And also, my husband and I are going to be doing he does the card games for charity stream, or he's done a few card games for charities. And last year we raised over $15,000 or not last year, but 2012 we raised over $15,000 for Hurricane Sandy relief. And this year, I wanted to do something because it'll be the 5th year since I got raped, as I mentioned before. And so I wanted to do something that's positive and can help other rape victims show that, hey, life goes on and things can get better and your life can change, and it's not going to stay the same and you're not going to be depressed the whole time. So I wanted to do a stream where we have a bunch of voice actors come in and do interviews and everything, and we're going to have live auctions and whatever, and then all the proceeds are going to go to RAIN, the Rape, Abuse, Incest National Network. So yeah, and that'll be on June 15th.
Excellent. So, if there are any final message you want to send out to the people listening, wherever they might be, what would that message be?
You are a poop.
That's a good point to know.
All right. Well, thank you so much
Thank you
for talking with us.